This is the Swarm and Shoot Football Show, episode number 18, with me, Manny Matsakis, the head football coach at Defiance College, and Lynn Groll, the publisher of the Black Swamp Football Preview magazine. We feature Defiance College football and everything that influences our program. This show is brought to you by our friends at Big B Coffee, right across campus on North Clinton Street. Get the finest coffee beverages in Defiance, as well as great pastries, breakfast sandwiches to start your day off, and a nice little pick-me-up, which Lynn and I have got going today. And for our viewers on YouTube, here it is. We've got the lid off, got a little foam going on a, vanilla latte today?
Yes, sir.
This is good stuff.
Friendly bunch over there.
They are a friendly bunch, and they hook us up, and it's a good deal every week. It's the best in the business around here, so it's great. And today, Lynn and I are going to talk about this past week's game against Franklin, where we were on the wrong end of a 28-0 game and on and off torrential rainstorm. And then we'll move on to our contest this week against Rose-Hulman, arguably the top team in our league right now.
Yeah.
But good afternoon, Lynn.
Good afternoon. Have you dried out from Saturday, Coach?
Oh, man.
You're not sick or anything?
No, I'm good. I don't get sick, but it's one of those deals that I take all these essential oils my wife gives me.
Yeah. I've used those, Coach.
Yes, it's like magic, and I'm healthy because of that. But I wish there was a special – well, I need to ask her, maybe one that just wills a victory to happen. Wouldn't that be cool?
Hey.
Then there might be.
She may get promoted to head coach if she's got that, Coach.
She can have this deal. She would be great. She'd be a great head coach. She is – in her business world, she is the head coach of her business, so, yes, as we all are in our lives. So today, Lynn and I are going to talk about this past week's Franklin game in a on and off driving rainstorm, and then move on to our contest with Rose-Hulman, a team that is in position to win our conference right now based on how things are going. So what'd you think of last week, Lynn?
A lot of rain, Coach. Dried out and
on and off. It was crazy. I think it affected the game in some ways. It was I had never seen it quite like this. It was like, and it was almost like they turned the switch on and off in the first half. It was like it was raining when we had the ball, and then after we punted to them or whatever would happen, then it would like stop raining, and then they might score, and then it turned back on again. It was like literally the craziest thing. I had seen it happen 3 times in the first half that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we got behind, and it was 21-0 at the half. And in some ways, offensively, had we been able to get a first down and not give them the ball back, it could have been a 14-zip score at the half. And we were playing with them, but in the second half. We started moving the ball a lot better. We made a switch at quarterback, which helped us move the ball at that point.
Yeah. Did you prepare at all, knowing that the rain was coming last week in practice, or is that something that you can? What the football's down? I don't know what.
We did that. I mean, I think on Friday we came out. We had a bucket. We dunked the balls in, and so when we were going offense on team, we would snap wet balls and so forth, and just play with them. We did that for about a half an hour of practice. So I thought, considering that, we were as prepared as you could be for this, and I'm sure they would have done the same. So that's pretty customary.
Yeah. Improvement-wise, did you feel like you got better in areas on Saturday, Coach?
Well, certainly defensively was probably the most blatant thing. We got a lot better on defense. I mean, we had 3 turnovers we created, which we haven't done that all year. We were able to stop them in key situations. They were going for it on 4th down. We stopped them, so those were keys in this game. So I was proud of the guys on defense, the way they played. And then offensively in the second half, it's like, bam, we had some explosive plays. Terry Geiger had some really big-time catches and did some good things. We just didn't finish drives, which has been our MO lately. But Cole Recker, I think, coming in the last drive of the first half and then playing the whole second half for us, that switch gave us a little bit of juice. And, I think at the first half we had only 25 yards of total offense. Not like they had a whole lot more, but in the second half, in similar conditions for us, we did 4 or 5 times that amount in the second half. So there was some improvement there, and we started to balance things out a little bit.
Yeah, Terry is really starting to become a force in your offense. I know the points aren't coming, but he is giving you some big play potential here.
He really is, and I think just getting the ball to him will make a difference. And he's a feature receiver for us, and and I think if we can, he's done a good job. Amin's done a good job. I think right now we haven't been able to get enough passes thrown to Santora and Vorse. So hopefully this week we can step up and do that a little bit more.
Next step for Cole in your mind, and kind of his progression as a young guy.
Well, obviously it's just, let's just get him some more reps, get all the QBs on the same page, and that's been the emphasis this week to see. As we go into these last 3 games, that we can make the kind of progress we need to make, because every game's important. You don't think ahead about anything, but we know that last game is against Bluffton, and that'll be here, and that's always a big game, and it'll give us an opportunity to let's just keep improving. So when we get to that game, we can get in it and do some good things.
Finishing drives, anything in particular that needs to happen in your mind, just being more consistent?
Consistency is the key. I mean, so many times we get a play that gets us into the red zone, and then something silly will happen, and it's just got to stop at this point. So we're just going to have to do a better job coaching it, get our guys to be more accountable to each other, and there's no excuses other than just do your job. And I feel that once we get this, get over that hump, we could have an onslaught of points against anybody.
Yeah. Defensively, I know the rain probably had a little effect on Franklin's offense, but steps in the right direction here for the last 3 weeks of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, Damon Thomas is, I don't know where he's sitting right now, but last week he was like second in the conference in sacks. So there's a freshman from San Diego, California, who's obviously not affected by the weather here. He's it's 70 degrees every day in San Diego. So, I mean, he's coming up, making some good plays. We've had some other guys on defense step up and do some things. I think, our secondary's playing well right now. We're more zone than man coverage. So I think Javon's done a really good job working with that unit and taking some steps forward.
Just making it easier. Playing zone is that kind of the philosophy behind?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I think if you sit there and lock up man, if you slip, then they score. It's one of those things. You don't have a whole lot of help over the top, and even if you dare to play 2-man, then you'll get help over the top with the safety. But the problem now becomes that you only got 5 guys sitting in the box. So it's tough to defend the run with draws and things like that, where, a really good man team wants to play man-free most of the time. And, we're just not mature enough yet.
Right. Also easier for your younger guys.
Yeah, I think so. And I think switching to more of a zone concept defensively has been beneficial to our group.
Yep. Rose, this Saturday, Coach, seems like the league has got some great teams this season. They just kind of keep throwing them at you every Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They've always been smart, good players. They don't shoot themselves in the foot. I think they keep improving. I would have not picked them to beat, Mount St. Joe, but they did.
Especially to keep them to 8 points.
29 to 8 is like holy swine. I don't know if the rain had something to do with that one too, but they did a good job. They obviously, they both had to deal with it at times. So I think Rose-Hulman will be a tremendous challenge. Right now they're in the front. They're the front runner in our league. So we'll see how that plays out. It'll be the first time we play on grass this year, which will also be different. And fortunately, their game last week was down in Cincinnati, so nobody played on their field. And I hear it's beautiful.
It's like a putting green.
Yeah, I've heard that it's manicured great. Well, they got all those engineers over there. I think they know how to grow the grass and so forth. So they maintain it very well. So I think that'll be fun.
Yeah,
that'll be a nice little atmosphere for us. And Terre Haute, I've never been there, and I think it'll be a nice trip over. And we'll have some opportunities. So we're going to try to play more people and that have been repping more lately, and they should be ready to get more reps this week in Terre Haute.
Is that something that you're looking at here the last few weeks of the season? See more kids, see what you have for kind of 2020 is?
Absolutely, because, our goal right now is, last year going into spring ball, I think when we had we didn't really have a spring ball. We had roster in the teens. You're talking 16, 17 guys that.
Yeah, so you couldn't even have full team.
This year we should be in the high 40s or 50, low 50s, somewhere in there. So that's alone from a retention standpoint significantly different. So we'll be able to have a good development in the off season. That's why you want to see these guys right now, so you know how they can develop, at what position, the drills they need to be doing in spring ball, stuff they need to do on their own that can make a big difference as we head into training camp next August.
How do you kind of get that across to them that you're looking for down the road? You're competing for playing time down the road right now, almost.
Well, I think one, we're making switches in positions to give them the opportunity to practice those positions. And then we're doing something we hadn't done last year according to the rules, and as we get closer to this, I'll have to verify it. But, you start your week on a particular day of the week, and you're supposed to give players one day off every week. Mm-hmm. But so your week ends on a particular time. A year ago, our week would end on a Saturday, on a Sunday. So that was the end of the season. Now our week ends on a Wednesday because we had a JV game, so we switched some things around. So my understanding is, after talking to, I think Nate Jensen at Manchester told me this, because our week is adjusted that way, after the Bluffton game, we can actually practice Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Okay.
So the plan would be to get those practices with the guys that would be coming back for the next year. So there's 3 more practices without the senior group there, where those guys are going to get some opportunities. And if that is the case, whatever that last day will be, my plan is to get a nice scrimmage in and get all those guys good reps and film and, something they can improve upon.
Yeah. Sounds good, Coach. Appreciate it so much for coming on again and winding down here.
We're improving and we're enjoying it. I enjoy coming over to Frickers on those Monday nights. You got a bunch of people on your Black Swamp Facebook live group, and got a few hundred people at the end of every week that have watched that. As we talk a little bit about us, and you always have some great high school coaches over there, so it gives us a chance to network with those guys here in town because they're driving in for your show. And, it's fantastic. I think this podcast has been great for us because we can reach out to so many recruits and parents and tell them about the future, the bright future here at Defiance College. And I want to thank everybody out there watching, listening, joining us on this Swarm and Shoot football show. If you're listening to this podcast, make sure to subscribe in iTunes, give us a rating, comment below. We certainly fortunate we have 5-star rating, which is the highest you can have on iTunes. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks, and appreciate it. When you're in town, one of those last 2 games, stop by Bigby and get yourself a coffee before you head over to the game in the afternoon. And subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. You can hit the bell up in the top corner and get notifications every time we release a new show. Make comments on specific shows, and we'll do a little Q&A on the last podcast. People that brought up some questions that are showing up there. But thanks again to our fans out there, and hey, we're going to keep pushing through and just keep improving.